Alright, welcome back everybody to Darkest Dungeon.
Fly, and the corpse wagons stand at the ready.
Yeah,
The circus has come to town.
I don't care about the Butcher's Circus. Enter the ring this week to relieve 10 stress from all heroes. Nope, we're not going to be doing the Butcher's Circus.
Fresh kegs, cards, and curtained rooms promise solace to the weary.
So this is where we reduce our anxiety. Excuse me, downside. Cost money. Other downside, it renders that person not usable for next mission, and the whatever you call it, covered wagon guy, he takes up a slot randomly, which can be very obnoxious at the beginning of the game when you don't have a second slot.
The cobwebs have been dusted.
So they did give me
Fuse set
access to
straight.
both the Abbey and
Calls to
the
the faithful.
bar, so that I can help reduce some stress. But really, I should be trying to save some of these, whatever you call them, curios, or whatever you want to call artifacts, for when I unlock the blacksmith. Yeah, I'm gonna take everyone here except maybe the Vestal.
This man understands.
Oh, never
that
mind, I'll take the
adversity
Vestal as well.
And existence are one and the same.
Yeah, we gotta. So
Great
one of the.
heroes can be found even here, in the mud.
So yeah, the
and
guild
rain.
will allow me to upgrade my abilities. The blacksmith upgrade my armor and weapons, but that's not important at the moment because they're all at level 0 or 1, and they won't really be able to level up again until they hit level 2. That's not super important right now, but you do want to try and save those artifacts so that you can start upgrading those two, because that'll allow your guys to get strong and buff. Means they'll be alive longer and they'll go through dungeons deeper, and basically makes your runs, you won't have to prevent or leave as many runs. But again, because I do plan to do some grinding off screen to try to level up my guys, to build up this village and such, you may see a point where we've got Reginald and Dismas. I'm gonna have to rename some of these guys. Anyways, you may see them randomly here. Well, you see them now, but they may randomly evaporate from my team
Little hope, however
because
desperate, is never without worth.
I'm not trying to kill them. It just happens sometimes when you're walking along, and then all of a sudden, some guy throws extra stress on your leper, then he goes insane and starts swinging at your other guys, just like, yeah. Anyways, then once I get a couple of these episodes uploaded, I think I'll feel a little bit better, because I'll be able to put a little bit more space between where I'm at right now and where my recordings are, because I was doing super good up until the wedding, my cousin's wedding, and then I recorded one more episode and took a whole week off. Isn't great. I hadn't anticipated on taking a week off. It just kind of happened because I had to scrap all of my original recording I had of System Shock, because I'm just not going to make it through that game. I mean, I'm in the very beginning of that game still, and I've died 4 times, which is not what you're supposed. Obviously, you're not supposed to die at all, but if I'm dying now, what am I going to do when I get later in the game and find out that, oh, you shouldn't have shot those 3 bullets. You should have kept them and swung with your big handy dandy wrench or pole. Why the fuck did you recycle that medicine bag? That medicine bag was like a key item. It's like, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But it was. It was. Be ashamed of yourself. Start over. You just want to like crawl in the corner and die. So while we're doing this, let me ask a question. Odd question, I'll say. Is it ever okay to not be yourself? Now, obviously, every cartoon show you ever watched will tell you, nah, man, you gotta be who you are, you know?
And the seat of our noble line.
You know, the Billy and Mandy line, you can pick your friends and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose. You have to let them be who they are, pick it themselves. But like, there's also the thought that, you know, if you want someone to tell the truth, you want someone to tell you the truth, give them a mask, let them play a part, you know, so they're not actually truly who they are. Or maybe they are truly who they are behind a mask because there's no consequences, you know. Maybe that's what that means. But like, if you
watch your step,
and it doesn't even have to be anything really remarkably different about your personality, but like, could you imagine, like, if you were a person? No, you are a person, but could you imagine if you, you know, by dyeing your hair blonde or dyeing your hair black, that made you more attractive to someone else, you know what I mean? Or you grew your hair out, or you shortened your hair, you know, something that creates a drastic difference between who you were the last time that person saw you and who you are now. And, again, this is, just kind of honesty's best policy, you know, be yourself, don't try and trick people, it's not good for you, it's not good for them, but let me ask maybe a deeper question. If you say you're a coward, or you're very scared of stuff, easily scared, you don't generally,
reeling, about to break.
you know, like, you don't put yourself in danger is what I'm trying to say. But a person, say, needs you to be brave for their sake, or to put on you know, you often hear them say, put on a brave face, you know, and to be something that maybe you're capable of, but you're not normally.
Confidence surges as the
I
enemy
mean, you would say that's not a bad thing, but you know, maybe I'm making this a little more muddled than it needs to be, but you know, we all play roles in our lives, and one of the roles that we play is based on our birthright, you know, our birth order. The youngest, the oldest, the middle child, the first girl, the first boy, the only girl, you know. You know, how were your mom and dad raised? How was their marriage? You know, how does that affect you? Have you learned these abilities in order to better cope with your surroundings? Or whatever, but I don't know. I guess there's something in my mind that's a little romantic about being the better version of yourself for the betterment of those around you. You know, to generation, you hear occasionally on, you know, they talk about generational trauma, and as one generation gets old and, you know, becomes an adult, they unfortunately will inflict the same trauma upon their children as they did to their parents did to them, because they begin to look at it in such a way where I turned out all right, or life ultimately worked out for me. So while I didn't like my parents as a teenager, maybe some of their ideas were right. And you know, to a degree, that's true. I mean, you could say there are things that you do, you know, or they did that might not have seemed, you know, nice at the time, but maybe gave you better work ethic. You know, I guess my big thing is, because I grew up with it, is we had in my house, we had chores, we had things that we were responsible for as being part of a family. So, for instance, if my mother made dinner, my dad would wash the dishes, and then the kids would dry the dishes. Okay. And then, you know, on Saturdays, we had chores that we would do. So we would vacuum the house, dust the house, clean the bathrooms, and you would rotate between those things because maybe you don't like dusting. Well, you only have to do that once every other week or once a month. Or maybe you do like dusting, you think it's the easiest thing. Well, you have to still, even though you like doing it, or it's really easy to you still have to do the other chores as well. The vacuuming still has to get done every week. The bathrooms need to get cleaned every week. You know, just main to the house, obviously. Plus, you know, a clean house is a healthy house, you know, that sort of stuff. But it also gets you ready for the working world, where I give you money, or you work, you get money. You don't work, you don't get money, you know? And it is, I will say, actually working for the first time as a 16-year-old was much different than having chores, because having chores, you would do it, you would get done, and you would move on with your life. Working was, well, we need you to show up at this time. This time inconvenient for you? Too bad, that's when we scheduled you. We also need you to be there for a set amount of time. That's inconvenient? Well, too fucking bad. You know? You know, weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like, as a 16-year-old, this kind of blew my mind, because they would schedule it like the worst parts of the day. Like, hey, how would you like to work, like, 2 to 10 or 11 to 7? It's just like, okay, so I get up, I go to, I get myself ready for the day, go to work before before I normally would eat a lunch, but now my lunch is delayed. Working through dinner, so I have to eat an early dinner, late lunch, early dinner, because that's when my lunch is. My meal break, that is. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of that. I was a bigger fan of when I finally got to the summer. I quit that job and worked for the township borough, which was a Monday through Friday. You came in at the same time every day. You left at the same time every day. You didn't have to work weekends. I didn't have any holidays, obviously. Well, we had one holiday, I'm sorry. 4th of July. But that was so much better. Like, okay, I have to get up every day at the same time, but I have my weekend. I get to come home at the same time every day. So it wasn't like one day where you're working a 2 to 10, and then you have to get up and work an 8 a.m. shift. Like, fuck. And then being in school was equally terrible, because you would work, you'd be at school till about 3:30ish. You'd get home, get off the bus, drop your backpack, have your mom or dad, because you technically are old enough to drive at 16, but you probably don't have enough driving experience at that
Whisper of
point.
conspiracy.
You get to have them bring you down to wherever your work is, grocery store, whatever. You're gonna work from 4 to not. What's here? 5, 6. Let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so you're working 4 to 8 or 4:30 to 8:30, and then you come home and it's like,
Turns even the
okay,
boldest gaze.
when do I study? Oh, you don't? You just have to hurry up, do whatever homework you have, and then go to bed because you gotta get up to go to school tomorrow at 7 a.m.
Be gone, fiend.
And they want you to work. They want you to work 6 days a week. 2 of them are on the weekend, and 3 of them are during the weekday. And it's just like, yeah, don't have any. Don't. That's like your life. Like, don't be in sports. Don't have extracurricular activities. Hopefully, you're really good at studying. I don't know, man. The money, and then you're being paid minimum wage because you're 16 years old. So it's like there's like 15 things just like just eating at you.
No hope in this hell.
Like I'd rather not get all that extra money. You know. But that was when I was 16. You know.
Back
Obviously now I'm an adult. I actually have to work. Otherwise, I won't feed myself or live. It's fine. But at the same time, I don't have to worry about flunking a test on Tuesday or Wednesday, or
Continue the onslaught.
whatever.
Destroy them all.
Destroy them all. Yeah, I tend to get that line like right as you're
Horrors.
like, boom, 1 dead, boom, 2 dead, 3, boom, dead. You're just lining up that last shot. You got the, you got it like a point blank shotgun shell to his brain. And it's just like, kill them all. We're almost there. We're almost there. A little bit of money. Well, that's good for a Crusader. Put that on you immediately. Alright, everything fit in the slot. Good. Fuck you, bug. So, of the many enemies that I fight, I find that the beasts, the whatever you want to call them, spiders, the ticks, or not the ticks, the maggots, they tend to be the easiest of enemies because I don't think they can do stress damage. I think they can only do poison and regular physical damage, which is like, in this game, like, oh my, you're just gonna do some physical damage to me? Oh, whatever. I can heal up that poison. Yeah, I got blighted. Alright, time to die. Or I could heal myself. One or the other, doesn't matter.
Another one falls.
Another one falls. Yeah, and they don't leave their corpses either, which is nice. Bump, bump.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
fall. Pretty awesome. There's only one more room, and there's only one more room battle. And I'm hoping I still have I do.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Always have a shovel. Because when you get deep into some of the harder dungeons and you don't have a shovel, I just watched their anxiety or their horror just explode. Like, oh, not only does this do a little bit of damage to all my guys, gets rid of a decent amount of my torchlight, but it also gives all my guys like 50 stress. Wonderful. Vigorous, virtuous is actually pretty awesome. Virtuous. Because occasionally he'll be like, I have the power, and he smushes everybody, and everyone's like, wow, he does have the power. That makes me feel less nervous about being down. You can't push me. I'll push you.
Injury and despondence
Yeah.
set the stage for heroism or cowardice.
Coward. Fine. It's fine. Die. I rebuke you. Rebuke you. Rebuke. These are my 17 holy tenants that say you suck. And the one that doesn't. Go, people, we gotta finish this room off so we can be done. Preferably before my Vestal and Leper have a heart attack. When they hit max stress, they have a heart attack, which basically drains all their health. It's ridiculous. Love 21 stress, great. Let me put a pistol shot in his... Yeah, thank you, die. Fucking stress eaters drive me nuts. Die.
Obliterate.
Almighty blow! Come on, you're in like the first 2 rows. Thank you. Take it all. Not at the moment. We're gonna check this one statue here.
Victory, nonetheless.
Alright, we got a buff, even though I don't care about a buff.
More bones return to rest.
Yay!
Devils remanded to their abyss.
We did it. We're great. Oh, good. Religious delusions.